Alright, welcome back to the channel. We're back wrenching on my 1999 kx125. I blew up the top end. Now I'm going to have to rebuild it. I'm going to show you how I go through this. Please note, this is my first time doing a top end rebuild. I'm going to start out by draining the coolant here. Loosen that up so that way it can flow out. And then try not to waste. It's still good, it's still good. Alright, let me just remove these plastics real quick. That was easy. Alright, now we're going to check the compression. Alright, it's in. Gonna kick it over a few times. Throttle open. See what our compression is. Oof. 30. Should be around there. And it is not. Definitely needs something. Alright, to remove this top end, I'm going to start by removing this pipe. Alright, I gotta take off these exhaust springs. Alright, now we gotta remove this exhaust bracket. Now I need to remove this top engine mount. And now these 5 head bolts. Bam! 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 Now we can remove the head. It's more difficult than I thought. There we go. These engine mounts are not making it easy. Alright, gonna have to remove these engine mounts. Alright, now with these loose, I should be able to pull this off. There we go. Lots of brown and black. Don't know if that's good or bad. Look at that piston. Doesn't look like my head gasket failed. Doesn't look like it's burnt. I wasn't losing coolant, so I think it is indeed my piston. In order to pull this cylinder off, I gotta take this power valve off. Alright, with the cover off, I gotta remove this little bendy clip here and pull this lever off. Gotta be careful, you don't want to drop that down there, that'd be bad. Alright, now with that lever off, there's 4 bolts one here, here inside the power valve cover, and then here and here. Oh, that one's a different size. Is this one too a different size? 12mm wrench, we'll see if that works. Bigger than a 12. Smaller than a 14. Smaller than a 14. 13 then. Alright, so these back two, 12. This one is a 13. Got it. Come over here, also a 13. Solid cable. All right, it's off. There's a lot of carbon buildup on the top of this. And we can see over here on this exhaust side. Come on. There we go. Looks like there was some blow-by going on. And on this side, there's a little bit of wear marks down there. Alright, shove some rags in there so I don't drop one of these C circlips in this piston, because then I would have to tear the whole bottom end apart, and I am not doing that. Alright, just going to take this little pick here and try and work it out. Just want to find the groove there, which is right. Alright, groove is right there. So I want to try and pull that up. Got this right here. I'm going to work at this and I'll come back when I got it. Alright, grab the second one. Got it. Alright, so what I did was I took a pick, put it in this little notch here, where you can get underneath of it, underneath of that circlip up there, and then I worked it out to the gap in the opening, and then from that gap, once I got it over top of this lip here, I worked it around until I could pull it out. Now I should just be able to push this out with a finger. Looks like it's going to need a little bit of persuasion. Alright, so I got this little screwdriver socket that fits in there just right. So I'm going to use this and very, very gently try and tap it out. I got it. Alright, my cylinder's been honed. I did not hone it myself. My uncle did it for me. Thanks, Unc. Now we're going to check the ring gap to make sure that we're Gucci. The top end I'm going to be using is this Wiseco piston I got off motorsports.com. It was around 130 bucks. And we're going to use this piston ring to check our ring gap. To check the ring gap, we're going to place the ring in the piston and measure this gap with a feeler gauge. It should be between 0.035 to 0.055. To ensure that our piston ring is square, we take our piston and we just push it flat to make sure that your piston ring is squared. Here we have a 0.35 millimeter feeler gauge, and we simply want to stick it in the gap up against this cylinder wall, and we just want a tad bit of resistance, like a teeny tiny bit of friction from the ring touching against the sides, and that's how we know we have proper ring gap. Alright, now we're going to install the piston ring on the piston. Oh, hello. What? No, I'm not cheating. Before we install the piston ring, we want to make sure we put some engine oil around this top bit here and in this groove, as well as on the clip, in order to make sure that we're not scraping it up. We want to make sure that the piston ring gap is right here in this little groove there that they put there for it. So we're going to go ahead and start by sliding that one end there, and then just work our way around like you're changing a tire. Alright, there we go. It's installed. That easy. I'm going to go ahead and install one of these C-clips right now. We'll make it a lot easier. I'm going to do the right side. That arrow faces towards the exhaust port, and I'm just going to shove it in there, and then we'll put it in, and it'll be a lot easier, and I'll have to do one when it's in the bike. You want to make sure that you oil this as well, and that gap is not in this access hole right there. Does anyone else get the feeling that they're being watched? Probably nothing. Whatever. We want to oil this top end rod bearing as well as the new pin that came in the kit. It's also good to note that now is a perfect time to check your bottom end bearings. No up and down play, a little bit of side to side, that's good. When installing the piston, make sure that you have it facing the correct direction. This one has an arrow facing towards the exhaust port. Install the other C-clip. Almost dropped it. Both the clips are on. Make sure you remove your rags from the crankcase. Make sure that your cylinder is clean and oiled as well as your piston before installing. All right, go ahead and reinstall your cylinder nuts. Remember, 12 in back, 13 in front. Remember to tighten in a crisscross pattern from one corner to the next in an X shape to make sure that the gasket at the bottom seats flat and that your piston moves up and down freely with no binding. Now you want to reinstall your power valve by pulling this upper lever down to match the hole of that lever there. Reinstall your little bendy clip. Reinstall your power valve cover with the gasket on the back, and since it's open-ended, we can tighten it in a circle pattern. Reinstall your head gasket. Make sure to line the pins up. And then reinstall your head with the mount facing forwards. Reinstall your head studs. Again, tighten in a crisscross pattern. This one in the shape of a star. Before we put everything back together, we're going to check the compression again to make sure everything is working right. Much better. Go ahead and reinstall everything, starting with the front engine mount. Alright, let me just reinstall the plastics real quick. Boom! Back together. And if I did this right, it should start up pretty easily. Except for all that oil in there, but that should be fine. Let's give it a go. Alright, top end rebuilt. If you found this helpful or have any thoughts, leave a comment down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. See ya!